Hi, everybody. This is David D'Arcangelo. I led the development team for the CTFO side for the xanthamus and glutamus. And here we have today with us Dr. Frederick Templeman. Dr. Templeman, welcome to the program and the authority on mangosteen and glutamist.
Well, it is a pleasure to be here, and it is a pleasure to be with a company that has the cojones to take chances and do things that everybody should be doing.
We're going to talk about the Vital4Lyfe pack with CTFO, the four incredible products, our most advanced products in the line. We put them together. And Vital4Lyfe, let me slow that down and break it down. And Dr. T, you'll understand this is it's the name of the pack of the four products is Vital4Lyfe. It includes xanthamus, glutamist, our Super 7 super antioxidants, and our tremendous multivitamin. And Vital4Lyfe means it's vital for your life. Think about that. Vital for your life. Why? Because your body and your brain is the greatest creation Earth has ever seen. And let me just give you a couple of anecdotes to that. Your body's the greatest creation of all time. Just fuel it correctly. Fuel it, feed it. But I mean, it's better, it's bigger and better than anything that's ever been created. So we talked about, we've got these four products. So we want to weave the four products into the conversation today so people know a little bit more about them. But can you tie them into your maybe theory of aging?
And these four that we're talking about today, and they are vital for life, and they're vital for life primarily because they address the major problem that comes from aging, and that is the imbalance, the redox imbalance within our cells, outside our cells. We have too many free radicals doing nasty stuff to our bodies, and we can do something about it. We can do it simply, and we can do it inexpensively.
Dr. Templeman, just give me the recap, like a one or two liner or a couple sentences on each of the products, and so that people get the gist of that theory of aging and the importance to them and the importance of maintaining the most incredible creation of all time, which is their body and their brain. Let's talk about multivitamin first.
And I asked you earlier on, your vitamin product was way ahead of its time because of the fact that you've got the vitamin K analogs that are in there that really are extremely important for the handling of calcium and making sure, for example, that calcium does not accumulate in your arteries. I remember asking you that if all of our people have not done their calcium score, which is something that costs them about $60, their insurance may or may not pay for it. But if it doesn't, everybody should do it, because that's kind of a look into the future of the number one killer in North America. And that's how much calcium do you have in your coronary arteries. And there's a score, and you can compare yourself to everybody else. And if you take a multivitamin, a good multivitamin like we have, particularly one that was forward looking and recognized the importance of not K1, but the other K vitamin formulations, that was really foresight. And I congratulate your doctor who did that, because you have a very good vitamin. The couple of things that, as science goes along, may in fullness of time sort of be able to improve, but it's a great vitamin, right, and no one should be without it.
Thank you. And I'll pass that along to Dr. Robin Seco, who's an integrative medicine MD back on the East Coast, and was really critical that the nutrients and the ingredients are in a form your body could recognize and you could use. And I'll pass along. And I know you take the product as well. Can you go over to, and you can handle these together, xanthomist and glutamist?
Yeah, again, we can't do a whole lot with all of the theories of aging except the antioxidant theory of aging. And both of these are the best that you could bring to it. Now, I'll talk first of all about the glutamist. The glutamist that it is going to bring glutathione into your body in the form of a molecular, in a format of glutathione as a full molecule. Virtually none of the products that are out there on the market really use this technology because no one was able or still is able to identify a glutathione receptor on human cell membranes. But that doesn't mean it's not there. It just means that you didn't see it or we haven't found it yet. But evidence is accumulating that there is a way for glutathione as a molecule to get into the cell from the bloodstream. We know that because
Right.
the liver produces excess amounts of it. What does it do to it? Doesn't flush it down the toilet, pushes it into the bloodstream. Where does it go? Well, we believe it absolutely goes to the cells. We don't know the pathway, but it disappears. And it doesn't disappear because it is dissolved. It disappears because it's picked up because the cells want it. Most glutathione is, of course, assembled within the cells from the precursor amino acids. But that doesn't mean that we get enough of it. We just don't. And so glutathione is the master antioxidant of the body. It does more, and it doesn't do just antioxidant duties. It is absolutely essential for a number of things to be formed in the actual formulation of collagen, for example, which is an internal cellular function. You cannot form collagen if you don't have adequate glutathione around, not to act as an antioxidant, or to keep the redox balance as it should be. That's its major function, but it's used as a coenzyme. And so therefore you can't make calcium without enough glutathione. If your glutathione is all getting used up because you are inefficient as far as your mitochondrial are concerned, and you don't have enough of them, and the ones you have are overworking and producing more free radicals than they need to, just in the same way that an old car will burn more oil, and you can tell it from looking at the exhaust pipe. Unfortunately, glutathione and inadequate mitochondrial numbers leave a lot of exhaust in the form of free radicals inside the cells. And that's what we need the glutathione for. And the glutathione in the form that we're giving it directly is going to go both outside and inside, but primarily inside the cells to help the body to do something that it's doing anyway, but do it a little bit more easily because the supplies are there.
Dr. T, talk about the dynamic duo, the second half of the glutamist combination, xanthomist, your favorite.
Okay, well, antioxidant problems are not just intracellular. Primarily they are, but they're also extracellular, and there are all kinds of places in the body that are acellular. All of your joint fluid, for example, and everyone who's got arthritis knows and understands that if you get a problem in your joint fluid, you've got a big problem you need to work on. Well, that can be worked on in the extracellular space to manage this redox balance, because the mangosteen is the most powerful, without a doubt. It's more powerful than vitamin C. It's more powerful than vitamin E and some of the other vitamins that we tout as antioxidants. This is more powerful, and there are 80 different versions of antioxidants within the mangosteen. The reason that I became very enthusiastic about the mangosteen was that it covered the bases so well. Most supplements from nature have really one or maybe two purposes in the body. The mangosteen has at least a dozen. I replaced 17 different medications for which I wrote prescriptions at the high point of my use of mangosteen in my practice. And I saw it doing things without side effects, which is what the advantage, a major advantage of supplements are. I saw it doing things without uh, dangerous side effects in every body system that we have. And so it really is the most versatile thing from nature that you can take in. Now, in a close second, you have the things that come from hemp or from the marijuana family, because the CBDs are very varied and they do a number of things across all the organ systems. But nothing beats the mangosteen, which is why, I argued, and I was so pleased when I found that your company had the courage to use the cutting edge technology of putting it into a particle so small that it could penetrate directly into cells if you could get it across the skin. And you learned how to do that. So I just can't emphasize enough that the mangosteen will look after a lot of things, but it's going to do a great job in maintaining redox balance in those areas where there aren't cells to do it, where you've got to work with something that comes from outside the cell, actually.
And there's a great jumping off point to our final product, the Super 7, which is another beneficiary of putting together antioxidant activity for the body. But the Super 7 is our 7 superfruits. So can you finish up with that one and then we'll close?
Yeah, I'm going to brag on the mangosteen for 1 second more, because it was my partner, professor at the University of Utah, who first coined the term superfruit. And it went like flash fire throughout the whole of the supplement community. But back in 2003, he was enumerating on a video we were doing the number of things that the mangosteen did. And he said, this is not just a fruit. We should be calling it something else. And then he said, a superfruit. That's what this is. This is a superfruit. And then, unfortunately, everything became a superfruit. By the way, you have a superfruit that I have never seen in a supplement out there and talked about very much, and that's the Indian gooseberry. That's really interesting.
That's
and
in
I
our
did some
that's in
looking
the
up.
that's in our Super 7 product, and you asked
Yeah,
me about it earlier, and you were really surprised.
yeah, because I've never seen anybody else use it. But when I looked up its antioxidant, more than 1,000 papers on PubMed about it. I looked at a few of them. Kind of interesting that you got a hold of that. Once again, I think you must have had some pretty clever people on your advisory board giving you advice about what to look at, because that's an unusual one. Nobody's going to recognize it, but it does what superfruits do, which is antioxidant, antioxidant, antioxidant. And the difference between that and the other two pillars that we've talked about is that this allows, because it goes through the GI tract, it allows the microbiota, these billions and trillions actually, of commensal bacteria, viruses, every life form you can think of lives in the last 4 feet of our gut. And they're called the microbiota. They're so important to health that they're going to be named an organ system very soon. But what they do is take the stuff that the body can't use because we can't digest it, but they can. And so they live as happy little parasites, bringing benefit to us and growing like crazy themselves in this tremendous bioreactor, which is the last 4 feet of the colon. Now, I started medicine years ago, way back in the dark ages. We used to think that the colon had virtually no purpose except to extract water from stool, and that it was a bag for poop, really. And we didn't understand any of the numerous things that it did. And the microbiota change these superfruits in a way that wouldn't be exactly the same as what we do in a more efficient way of getting it into the bloodstream, but they change it and make things that we do not even yet completely understand as secondary metabolites that are essential to life. And we know that they're essential to life because chop out somebody's colon, and like unfortunately we did for many, many years, or get a bad disease that wipes away the colon's ability to do what it's supposed to do, and you don't thrive, you die.
Wow.
So we know that it's essential, and all of these go through the digestion process. And even if they are in small amounts, they make a big difference.
Wow. Dr. Templeman, this is a terrific interview today, and the knowledge is you're passing along is absolutely fantastic. It's visual; you can imagine it. I'm gonna leave it to you to finish up with just this before I ask you to. Is everybody out there, the Vital for Life pack is the best value, science supported product mix that CTFO has to offer so that you can slow the pace of aging and live your best life ever. Dr. Templeman, I'll leave it to you to close.
Well, I will say this, that I was impressed when I went and looked at your vitamin mixture that you have on there. For example, you can hardly go anywhere on a large, large store like Walmart or whatever it is, and look on their shelves in the vitamin area and find methylcobalamin, the form of vitamin B12 that can be absorbed more effectively than the cyanocobalamin, which is very, very common and very, very hard to absorb, just like the rotten ascorbic acid that they put out there for vitamin C. A lot of things that are on the shelves you can't get proper nutrition from. CTFO does a great job, and obviously was forward looking when that doctor helped you with that, because one thing that I'm really impressed about your company, David, is, and these are conversations that you and I have virtually on certainly a weekly basis, if not often on a daily basis, is that you guys are still changing. They're, you've got your products. They are great. They're much better than you can get in a store anywhere outside. And you are still looking at how do we make it better? So I love the fact that the absolute constant at CTFO is change.
Yeah. Appreciate you. Thank you for being so available for all of our associates as well. Thank you for being on the program today. You made it absolutely fantastic. Everybody out there, Vital for Life, get the Vital for Life pack, live your best life ever. Thank you and good night.
Good night.